Hi, everyone. Welcome on another episode of Appetite for Collectibles. On today's segment, we have Bob Wills from SPACECON San Antonio. How's it going
And my
on,
dog in
Bob?
the background.
And your dog in the background.
That's Dexter.
Oh, he's so cute. He's like a little gentleman.
He is. He hardly ever makes a noise, any sound. He's 14 years old, so
I was
he's
gonna
getting up
say,
there.
I wish I had that same situation as you. As I have a 1-year-old, so she's constantly like wanting attention, or if she sees that I'm on a live stream, she immediately wants to be the center of
There's
attention.
4 more dogs on the other side of that door that want to be in here too.
Oh, okay.
Got a family of dogs.
I like that. That's nice. I'm with I have one right now, so we're debating on possibly getting a second one.
It's good because it helps the dogs not have separation anxiety.
That is very true. Well, I genuinely appreciate you coming on. Like I said to you before, I've had numerous of friends of mine have been going to SpaceCon, and for like the past 2 years now, they've been telling me, they're like, "You guys, you got to come to San Antonio. You got to check it out." And once I saw the lineup that you guys were doing this year, I immediately booked my flight. I got my hotel, and I had to come to this con.
Well, fabulous. It's gonna be an unbelievable show.
Yeah, I love the fact that your website, it says it's fueling our passion for intergalactic pop culture. So I love that because it's, from what I've seen, you guys just don't stick to one forum. You guys are, hitting Marvel, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica. So I love it. You guys are doing a con, for everybody who has a fandom that they love.
All trying to be space related. There's some weird people that don't fit into the space footprint, but for the most part, like and fans want Marvel people, but we got Tom Hiddleston who's an Asgardian, you know, so he is an alien. He is from outer space.
Yeah, when I saw you guys drop his announcement, I was clapping for that one because I live in Florida. He was at MegaCon the same year that Hayden and Ewan were there. So I had to, figure out which one I wanted the most. So I decided to do the Hayden and Ewan photo op. But the fact that now Tom's going to be at your convention, I'm excited because now I have the opportunity of getting to meet him.
A lot of people want to meet him. He has he hasn't done it when he comes to our show. He won't have gone to a con in 40 months. He was last when he was at MegaCon in Florida. Excuse me, in Florida back in 2020. Now I got the hiccups. What is up with that? 2023, February 2023, and I met Tom there, and we talked briefly. He's a very nice gentleman. He's very kind, and I said, someday you're going to be at my show. And so he's got married. He's got a Chuck. Terrible. I'm sorry. I got the hiccups. How did this happen? We got, so he's coming to the show and we're really excited. And it's kind of the creme de la creme. I mean, there's a lot of things for us to be excited about. I mean, certainly we got the X-Files. It's the first time in 13 years that David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson will be at the same show together.
That's amazing.
And then we have, obviously, on the Star Wars side, we have Hayden Christensen. We have the Emperor, Ian McDermott. And then we have Jimmy Smits, who has never done a Comic-Con. We were able to pry him out, and they'll all be doing, on Saturday night, they'll be doing their panel together. So a lot of good stuff. And of course, we got people like Carl Urban, who was in Star Trek, and Zachary Quinto, who hasn't done a Comic-Con in forever. We've got him to come. So he and Carl will be performing together. But, Carl not only does the boys, and we got a big boys contingency. Oh, this is embarrassing. But he's played a lot of different characters, Carl Urban, in different universes. So Of course, he was in a Thor movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was actually gonna share my screen and pull up, like the SpaceCon guest announcements that you guys had. Um, love the fact that you guys got John Cena, especially, there's a lot of places out there, a lot of cons that immediately got John Cena as soon as he announced his retirement. So I had a feeling like he was going to be a major headliner and he was going to sell out immediately. And from what I saw on the forums for SpaceCon, that he did sell, or he was like 83% at selling out.
Yeah, he by this weekend there'll be nothing left with him.
Yeah. That was the same thing with MegaCon. When they announced him, he sold out immediately. He's a very big name. I've met him before. He's extremely nice. And fans love
he
him.
did a space movie.
Yeah, he did.
Bumblebee. He was
Mm-hmm.
he was in that movie with Haley Steinfeld. We wanted to have Haley Steinfeld back, but she got mama-itis. She's about to have a baby.
No, she just I think she had her baby last week.
Oh, did she? I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, she had her baby last week. So she is a full-time mama now.
Yeah. She'll be back on this one of the screens before we know it.
Yeah, I love that you guys got like some of these castmates from Star Trek is amazing.
Yeah, I think we have 11 or 12. We've got big names from Star Trek.
Peter Weller, so excited to meet him.
Famke Jensen, Jean Grey from X-Men.
Mm-hmm. Captain Marvel.
Excuse me.
I'm excited because I get to finally meet Iman in person. I've had friends of mine go and get his signature for me because I wasn't able to attend, but I'm happy that I get to meet him in person now.
He's a wonderful guy. Very soft-spoken.
That's what everybody says.
He grew up on the border of Mexico.
Oh, wow.
And of course, you got Tom Welling and Superman are aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Logan, baby Boba Fett.
Oh, Tara Reid. I didn't see that one.
Yes, the Sharknado Queen, as I call her.
Yeah. Yeah, and I saw that you guys brought in Joe Caroni. He's such an amazing artist. I have some of his pieces as well.
We had him last year, and he was very popular. We brought him back,
So I have to ask, how did this come to be? How did you start in this business and just want to take over the convention scene?
Well, I have 10 companies. We have 7 for-profit businesses. PMX Events, which puts on SpaceCon, is one. Our biggest business is an advertising agency, the PM Group.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got another agency. We've got a audio video company. We have TV production studio, Quarter Moon Productions. I sometimes forget about them. And then we've got 3 nonprofits. One, we take care of the local university, helping with financing for athletes. But then we have Texas Yes Project that I started probably 35 years ago. We take care of about 90,000 kids in Texas. We buy all their back to school supplies.
Oh, wow.
They get that free of charge. And then the other one is Puppy Food Bank, big into animals, pet rescue. But we started Puppy Food Bank, 5 years ago. First year it was just in Texas. We got the second year, we decided to expand it all over the country. You can go to puppyfoodbank.org. But we'll provide pet rescues with the food they need for their animals within their care, just as long as they don't ever euthanize or ship their pets to somebody who does euthanize them.
Oh, wow.
have a very strong conviction about not doing any harm, because pets are our family.
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree. For me, my dog is my world. I will do anything for her. So I love
Child,
that you guys
your
do that.
child,
Yeah, it's my child.
yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right, Milda, what else do you want to know?
um so for somebody being a first timer coming into the convention, what is something that I need to be looking out for? What should I go and do first to have such an epic experience at SPACECON?
Well, you really have SpaceCon in two parts. Friday is Fan Appreciation Friday.
Okay.
And when I started looking at these, and last year I tested out a little premise, and that is to bring some popular guests in and then you didn't charge their normal fees. So last year we had Giancarlo Esposito. He's a friend of mine now. Matter of fact, he's an ambassador for the Puppy Food Bank. And I said,
Nice.
Giancarlo, okay, you're going to come in on Friday, and we're going to sell all your autographs and photo ops for $35. And he listened, and he says, okay, let's do it. And so he was our first one. Then we had Daniel Logan. So we had two of them last year. Now we have 16 people this year that are all doing Fan Appreciation Friday. And that means those guests are there on Friday only. And so, you've got all the Superman people. Tom Welling, he's normally an $80 photo op, $80 autograph. He's $35. So
Wow.
we've sold an awful lot. So we have all these people on Friday. They're all listed on our website that are going to be there. So we just announced, I have a name block now. Jesus, just announced her. But look at my sheet right here. No, I don't have it right here.
I can go back on your site if you want.
No, I just announced her. Yeah, go back to the guest list. Tells you what happens when you're 73 years old and you have a lot of people. Adrienne Perlicki. Adrienne Perlicki, she was the number 2 person on the Orville. So she did almost all those episodes on the Orville. You got to keep going, scrolling down. Let me see. She should be on there now. I wonder if we missed. I think we missed her up at the top.
Here we go.
Oh, there she is. There she is. People may have known her. She was a badass in John Wick. She's done an incredible. If you can go back a little bit, go back one. The previous screen you were on with her.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, that's okay. She's done a lot of shows. She was a G.I. Joe part. She was, like I said, she was John Wick. She's in. There's one other one I'm missing. She's in. Very popular, but done a lot of great work. She lives just up in Austin, Texas, and
oh wow.
So she's coming down on that Friday again, and she went on sale today, and we've been selling the bejesus out of her. So
what made you guys want to be different and do like a fan appreciation for Fridays?
Well, part of the reason is most shows, their attendance, to put it blunt, they suck on Friday. They don't do really well. It's just a Saturday and Sunday.
That's true.
And the majority of our fans buy either the 3-day VIP or the 3-day regular pass. And so how do you keep it different and exciting every day? I mean, we do a lot of unusual things. We have a giant Dave and Buster's size video arcade. And so where you can play all those games for free.
Mm-hmm.
We have Fan Appreciation Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, we just have all our top guests. Some of them, like Tom Hiddleston and Carl Urban are going to be there all 3 days. because Carl Urban, for example, on Friday, you can get a group photo op for $199. You've got Carl Urban, Giancarlo, and then you have the three guys from the boys, Tomer, Capone, Laz, and then Jesse, who plays A-Train on the boys. I don't know if you've seen that, but
Oh yeah, I love that show.
Three stars from that show. Unfortunately, Jesse A-Train got killed in the very Homelander killed him in the very first episode of this year. Sorry, folks, if you haven't seen it yet. I just did a kind of burst out with that, but so we've just got a lot of folks, and so anyways, you get 5 major celebrities, including Carl Urban. The photo op is $199.
Can't beat
Normally
that.
those things are like $300 and $400.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, that's just a lot of unique specials and opportunities for fans.
I like
and then,
that.
Of course, we didn't talk about it, and it's more people that are, maybe it's because I get to select who comes to the show, and because I was a big Seinfeld fan. We got Larry Thomas, the infamous soup Nazi from the show.
I saw that when we were scrolling. I was like, in my head, I was like, is that the soup Nazi?
Yeah, and so for $75, $75 or $79, you get your photo with the soup Nazi, you get his autographed, and we have gourmet soups in our food court, and you'll get this gourmet soup.
I was about to ask.
Who sells a photo op or an autograph with a bowl of soup?
That's awesome.
This guy.
I was gonna ask because I've seen people like always bring like when like it's, for instance, like I said to you, when we met John Cena at Florida SuperCon, we brought like a box of Fruity Pebbles. And not a lot of people understood that reference, but like if you followed John Cena for so many years, you knew that The Rock said that quote to him. So he laughed when he saw the box.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people who made comments about him. I'm bringing my box of Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
Sign that. Is that a regular autograph or a premium autograph?
I would say that would be a premium autograph. No, but I like that. I like that you're bringing the soup Nazi from Seinfeld, and you get to do, what is it, an autograph, a signature? I mean, an autograph, a photo op,
and a bowl of soup.
And a bowl of soup. That can't beat that one. And now that I know that, I am definitely going to purchase that. Awesome. We got somebody asking, do you have a preview of any of the VIP swag, bag, shirt, hat, etc.?
Hold 1 second. Excuse me.
We're going to get an exclusive look, guys. Is the guest list done? I'll ask Bob that in a few.
I had to get my iPad. This is my wife's computer, so I don't have a lot of. Now I got a bunch of dogs in here. So let's see. Over here to SPACECON.
People are saying BobCon 2027.
BobCon.
I had another buddy ask me, can you get the bowl signed?
Yes, he will. He's going to have soup ladles for sale, too.
That is so funny.
So I got to go down my feed to get the Alan Richson, who is Reacher, and he's done a lot of stuff. He's really, really popular. But yeah, so this is I don't know if you people can see it.
Here,
This
I'm
is
going to
a
make you
picture
big.
of all the people that are there on Fan Appreciation Friday. So you got 15 of them. Whoa, where'd you go?
Oh, I've just made you big so you can show your screen.
So those are all the people for Fan Appreciation Friday, the $35 special.
Okay.
And I know I did a post about the oops.
Are you guys still announcing more guests, or you guys, your guest list is done?
Well, last year, 2 days before the show, we lost a couple small guests. And they were small, but they were popular, but I didn't want fans to be disappointed. So I called up the National Creative Artist, who's the biggest, talent agency in the world. And I said, you got anybody that's ready to do something and they're available this weekend? And that's when we brought back Jeremy Renner. And that was a great fill-in.
That's awesome.
And I don't realize sometimes how many posts I do in a week. But you're talking about we have for the people who are the star VIPs, we have a glorious fan bag, and this is kind of unusual because usually they're pretty much the same, but we did opposing images on both sides. Then this year we went, instead of giving one pin, we got 2 different pins. We've got the custom badge holder. Then you get 3 collectible badges. We'll have about 15 different ones, so you can always pick it up at the, you can buy some additional ones at the booth. You get like 5 of them for $25, or you can get, or the ones you have, you can switch out for something else that you didn't get.
We got Cynthia in the chat. She's asking, or she's saying, looking forward to my photo op with Bob. He's the real celebrity.
Hello, Cynthia Salinas. I have a lot of pictures, Of course, I've had knee replacement surgery, hip replacement surgery, and as I said, I'm a young 73 years old, but I can't run away around. That place is just too big for 4 days, so I ride an electric scooter, zipping through the crowds. But I probably didn't take any less than 300 or 400 photos last year, for sure. So, okay, there it is. So I don't know if you. So here is the fan bag, and you see it's got 2 sides. There's one with our
like a little cowboy alien.
Alien cowboy, and then the other side, the alien cowboy, and then there's the astronaut cowboy riding the rocket ship.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking bag, and you get those if you're a star VIP. You get them free with all your swag and stuff inside, and then we also sell them in our merchandise booth. Our merchandise booth is going to have a hell of a lot. We bought all these like. What are those really nice big drink mugs? But we've got all different ones. We've got Star Wars
tumblers.
I'm sorry?
Tumblers?
Yeah, the big tall drink tumbler. So you'll have those.
Okay.
And then, of course, and nobody's ever done this before, because we run our own food and beverage operations in the event. It's not the facility. And so in the VIP lounge, they get free Pizza Hut pizza every day.
Oh, wow.
Along with the soft drinks and water and all the other snacks we have in there. But that's the Star VIP lounge. But you have to be you have to be a VIP, have a VIP badge to get in there. So
Okay.
lots
Now,
of stuff.
is for anybody who is just standard general admission, is the wait times extremely long, or do they?
That's a good question. So most fans will tell you that unlike other shows, I hear, oh, this guy was 2 hours behind. I have a very strict policy. I do not oversell. You look at autographs, and I'll give you an example. There's that they told me that John Cena can sign this many per hour. I only did this many because I don't want to take a chance, and I want the fan experience to be better.
Mm-hmm.
Some fans think getting an autograph is a meet and greet. It's not a meet and greet. You bought an autograph. That's what you get. Yeah, you could buy, you could say hi, how are you, stand there, but you can't ask how are the kids, how's the family, how's Aunt May, it's not anything like that. But I don't want it to be a speedy drive-through either. Next. And some of these people do it that way. And
yeah, I've had the experience of being in a line and having somebody just sign and buy.
Oh, I won't name the show last year that Hayden Christensen was still signing at 11:30 at night. I won't do that. I don't want people to have a bad experience. So we try to create all the pacing. We do get a lot of people that buy VIP, and it's capped at 1,500 people, and so and we break everything down in groups. So if you see like a Group A autograph, Group B, Group C, you're breaking down an hour into 3 20-minute segments. So,
okay.
You got to figure there's going to be 60 minutes and 20 seconds. So that means their autographs going to last about 20 seconds. That's what they do. But we do it so and we do something else I'm very proud of. We actually train our volunteers that work there. We train them. Most of them, they say, stand here, and they really don't get a lot of training. We try to give them the best chance for success. It's not easy bringing in 500 people, and at least 2/3 of them have never worked in a Comic-Con.
Yep, I agree. For someone, I'm 38 years old. I've been going to cons since I was 21. For me, the biggest complaint I've ever seen in cons, except for like long wait times, has been about volunteers. Like them not knowing where is this, where is that. You ask a question, no one knows anything. So I like hearing that, you guys are actually training your volunteers, because it's good. They're there to help and facilitate. And if they don't know any, answers to any of the questions, it kind of defeats the purpose of even asking them anything.
Right. You gotta give yourself the best chance for success, because why do you want to be started out in the hole the next year when people say they had all these bad experiences? Listen, we're not going to make 100% of people happy, but I'll be happy with 98%. The Ford Motor Company said, a 2%, when you sell millions of cars and you have 2% people get with lemons or it's problematic, then you're still talking about 20,000 car buyers had a bad experience.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing. But they're not dealing with, at Ford or General Motors, they're not dealing with volunteers making their cars.
That is true.
What else, young lady?
I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm super excited to come. I'm showing up Thursday night because I want to get there early and, get settled in. And I just want to experience the whole entire weekend. I've been to Texas numerous of times, but I've never been to San Antonio.
Well, you'll have to save some time. Go down on Thursday night. Go down on the Riverwalk.
Okay.
See that? It's like going to Venice. It's an amazing experience. Then you're gonna have 3 nights at Comic-Con. I mean, Friday night, obviously we have the Loki Live, the private panel at 8:15 p.m. with Tom Hiddleston, and then Saturday, the Star Wars nut that you are, you'll have Hayden, Ian, and Jimmy Smits all doing a panel together.
Now, you're talking about Star Wars. Is Hayden and Ian doing a photo op just together?
Yes.
Okay.
There is one of those. There's definitely one of those. Or as I call that one, the chosen one and the emperor. So that's those two are kind of linked together. They've only, outside of being in a Star Wars celebration, they've only been at one Comic-Con at the same time once in their history.
Yeah, I'm
We talk
excited
about how
for
rare
that.
that is. That's pretty rare.
Very.
Yeah, and the emperor. When I brought him last year, it was to be his last U.S. based Comic Con that wasn't a Star Wars celebration, because the man's 84, 86 years old, and very nice, very polite Englishman,
Mm-hmm.
and so with getting Hayden coming this year, we talked about it, and found out that they hadn't appeared together in a gazillion years. I said that would be great. So I talked to his people, and we got him to come. But I had to do something very unusual to get him to come. So, you say, hey, Mom, we're going to Disneyland. He's flying over from London. We're putting him up for 4 days in Las Vegas at the Bellagio, and then he'll come down to our show.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the way to bring some morale.
Yeah, yep. Get him in a good mood. Have him nice, chilled, and relaxed. Because flying over from the UK, you're talking about, a 10-hour, if you have a nonstop, which is not a nonstop from the UK to San Antonio. So you're talking it's a 14-hour flight getting here.
Yeah.
So that really can wear you out.
Yeah, I bet. We've got Cynthia. She wanted to ask you, how did you start your Comic-Cons?
Okay. What's her name again?
Cynthia Salinas.
Cynthia. Okay, Cynthia. So here's the deal. When I was a kid, I collected comic books. And at the foot of my bed, I had a chest, and it was filled with original Superman, Batman, and Detective Comics. And I go off to going off to college. I was the oldest of 8 kids, 7 boys, 1 girl. And my brother Rich said, Bobby, you're a college boy now. You got to get rid of the comic books. In an act of support that I am going to move to the next level, I threw them all away. I threw away millions of dollars. They cost me 10 cents a piece back then, but I threw away millions because they were in pristine shape. They'd all be graded as 9s or 10s because I didn't let people go flapping through them, doing everything. And so then in about 2014, I started going to Comic-Cons. And next thing you know, I started collecting Hollywood cars. I had the original Batmobile. I had 2 more versions of Batmobiles. I had one of the original Ecto-1s, which was my favorite. As a matter of fact, if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see me sitting in one of the Batmobiles. I ended up having 57 Hollywood cars.
Oh, wow.
And my next business was going to be called the Hollywood Car Show and Pop Culture Museum, because I have all these statues of characters. So Wonder Woman, Batman, you name it, everything. Got Peacemaker. And today, I just struck a deal. I was looking around the country if they had one. I don't know if you can put this there.
Yeah, there.
The picture. So there's Loki.
Okay.
But so at one of our sponsors, title sponsor, Thomas J. Henry, Loki's going to be at his booth, so people can also get a free picture with Loki.
That is funny.
So now I have about 45 statues, full-size statues, So we'll probably have John Cena with John Cena as Peacemaker and do something very unusual.
We shall see. We've got a Mushroom Top Josh. He's asking, who's on your wish list for next year's headliners?
Well, listen, no matter how many times I say this, there's people that don't listen. It's kind of like get Ryan Reynolds. If people don't know it, Ryan Reynolds, you see him in those Mint Mobile commercials.
Mm-hmm.
He sold his share in that and he got over $2 billion. You pay 20% tax. He nets 1.6 billion. Then he sold a liquor company. He made like 1.4 billion. The guy is a billionaire. He's never going to come to a Comic-Con. I would love to get, and you still could get Chris Evans. You can't get, you can get Chris Hemsworth, but he's $1 million for one 10-hour day. Fans have got to agree to pay $800 for a photograph or an autograph when you look at the throughput. And the reason he's $1 million a day is because some crazy Saudi prince, they had him over to Dubai at a show, and they sent a private jet to pick him up. He lives down in Australia. They fly him up there for the show. He does the day, gets his $1 million, and he flies home. Oh, and by the way, they pay the taxes on the $1 million. I don't know what the taxes are in Australia, so it could be another $400,000. There's just no way. There's so many people that are priced out of it. Now, the biggest one is our Mandalorian star, who is coming out. And, 3 years ago, we put together a big private signing in this, and it was $2.6 million, and he ain't coming out. They make so much money. They're just making, he's probably going to make $50-70 million on doing that Mandalorian movie.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, when you break it down to Comic-Con, let's just say you're getting $750,000. Now I'm going to use a better example. So I had, in my very first Comic-Con in 2018, I had Jason Momoa, and our event was like 6 weeks before his first Aquaman movie came out.
Wow.
And he was, we paid him $200,000 for one day. He came in, and he said, and he had just got done filming Aquaman, and before that he had made the Batman and Superman movie where he was teased in there.
Yeah.
There was Superman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, all these people in there. He says, Bob, I had to sit in a hot, stinky trailer for 9 months. When I worked it out to how much I was getting paid a day, it was $40,000 a day. $40,000 a day. Here I come to your show, and in one day I make $200,000, and you fly me over here in a private jet. What could be better than that? So, a lot of them are, the money that's being paid. Here's a big thing and I'm sure a lot of fans have thought about this. With all these streaming networks, and they're making so many different shows, and now that streaming is paying so much money to these people that they're tied up more than they ever were before.
Yeah.
There used to be, most of them would get to the summer, they weren't filming, then they'd have some, a lot of them finish up filming in November. They'll film, October, November, part of December. Then they're totally free until like February. They're taking times off. But the schedules have gotten so compressed
because of streaming.
It's hard to find time when somebody is available. Tom Hiddleston worked out perfectly because he had decided, because he had a baby, and he took 1.5 years off because he could. After he made the second season of Loki, he really didn't do much. I think he filmed The Night Manager. I don't know if you've seen that series with him. It's a cool series. He made He made the first season of The Night Manager was filmed in like 2014 and 15, and then they did the next season, which was done like last year. So
Okay.
before he went on a sabbatical for his
You said it's
baby.
called The Night Manager?
The Night Manager.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
He was really in the first. You got to see the first one. He was really a night manager at a hotel, and he gets dragged into the underworld of, Spydom, and he ends up helping out. And then in the new series, he's now a full-time, undercover dude having fun.
Vicente says that Hugh Laurie's in it.
Yeah, when you see Hugh Laurie in the first season and when you see him in the latest season, you can see how much the series has aged. Tom doesn't look like he's aged at all.
I think Tom's a vampire.
Yeah. Yeah.
He looks exactly the same from the first Avenger movie that he filmed as Loki.
Yeah.
And he's not changed. Maybe, the dyeing of his hair a little bit more, but Loki's my favorite character in the Marvel universe. So to just see it and agreeing with what you said, he has not aged at all.
Yeah. Yep. My dogs are getting crazy. Does anybody out there got any more questions before we wrap this thing up?
Last person is asking, is Benedict Cumberbatch ever a possibility?
He is, because he's kept himself in play. He's been doing some shows over in the UK, so he could be. He's a real possibility.
Okay.
And I'd love to get him. I've made some offers on him, but we got filming got in the way.
Well, Bob, I know your dogs are getting all rustled and they want your attention.
They're 30 minutes from being fed. They should have already eaten by now. So
yeah. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much. For anybody who's tuning in, please make sure to check out SPACECON on June 12th through the 14th. Make sure to go to the fan appreciation on Friday. I am definitely going to be there. I'm actually going to log on after we're done, and I'm going to look at all the celebrities that I want to get and start purchasing my autographs now.
You just go to the PMX information booth, which is right when you come through the doors. It's right there on the right in Expo Hall 2, or the big hall. And there's a gal named there, Madeline and Steven, who work behind the desk. Just tell them, hey, I need to see Bob, and they'll call me. They got me on an iPod AirTag, and they got a phone and a mic, a walkie-talkie, and so they'll call me and they'll track me down, and we'll come over there and we'll meet. Okay.
Okay, I appreciate that.
All right. Very nice meeting you, show.
Thank you.
Success. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys. Well, as you guys can see, Bob is a very busy man, but I was so glad that we were able to get him on. Make sure to check out SPACECON. If you guys are not going, I'm definitely going to be filming a whole bunch of stuff. It's my first time ever going to San Antonio, so I'm excited. I'm going to be linking up with my buddy, General Kenobi's bunker. I know he said that him and his wife were inviting me over to their house. They're going to cook me like real authentic Mexican food. And hopefully, if any of you guys who are on here and it's your first time, if you have any recommendations of any collectible stores for me to check out in San Antonio, please let me know. I definitely want to check that out too while I'm out there. And any just cool places to check out at nighttime as well, let me know. And if any of you who watch this stream, if you see me running around, come and say hi. I would love to meet you guys and just, enjoy what SPACECON San Antonio is going to be like. Here, yeah, that was one of the places in my list that I definitely want to check out. Things if you are hungry. Okay. Yeah. If any of you guys have Instagram, you guys can follow me on Instagram as well for Appetite for Collectibles. If you guys want to send me your recommendations there too, I'll follow you guys. And like I said, just say hi. I'm going to be bringing stickers, maybe some little gift baggies. But yeah, I'm excited to meet you guys at SPACECON, and it's going to be quite a treat. So again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I was so glad that we had Bob. And like I always like to end my segments, may the force be with you. I'll see you guys soon.